Traveling is often about seeing new places. But in Virginia, I discovered something more. Nature itself became a teacher. The winding roads, tall mountains, flowing rivers, and open skies were not just scenery. They carried a wisdom that reveals itself only when we are still enough to listen. First, I visited Virginia Tech University to meet my nephew. Walking through the campus, I was reminded of Vedanta's teaching about two kinds of knowledge, avidya and vidya. Avidya is the outer knowledge of science, technology, and skills that help us build a better society, while vidya is the higher wisdom of the deeper self. Both are needed. Without practical knowledge, life is incomplete. Without higher wisdom, life feels empty and the mind remains restless, no matter how much we achieve. At the Virginia Tech duck pond, the ducks simply float with the water. But we spend life swimming against the current, chasing likes, avoiding dislikes. Even when we get what we want, it never satisfies for long. The real lesson of nature is not to chase or resist, but to understand how these likes and dislikes shape the mind. Inside the library, rows of books stood as guardians of human thought, preserving centuries of ideas and discoveries. Such knowledge is useful and sharpens the intellect, but wisdom arises when the mind learns not just to accumulate, but to see beyond words, concepts, and thoughts into truth itself. Beyond the campus, I went hiking along Virginia's beautiful trails. At first, like most people, I felt a sense of relief. The quiet was soothing and the air refreshing. Many visit nature for this reason, to relax and escape routine stress. But Vedanta invites us to look deeper. Why is life stressful in the first place? Why does the mind crave relief? Stress arises because we are caught in a false image of ourselves. A me that always wants more, fears loss, compares with others, and resists what is. This unquestioned ego is the real source of restlessness. On my hikes, I came across a tree house and a swing tucked along the path. Moments like this reminded me that nature is a profound teacher. Everything in it rests at ease with itself, never claiming a separate identity apart from the whole. We too belong to this wholeness, yet we forget. Instead, we live inside a mental image of me, spending our days in defending, protecting, or polishing it. That is why we feel so burdened. If we see nature only through concepts like this is an oak tree or this trail is 5 miles, we miss its true gift. But when we pause and drop the labels, something deeper is revealed. The body and mind are also part of nature. We recognize the same life within and without. Mountains, rivers, and forests exist in harmony with the totality. By reflecting on them, we begin to release the false me, the restless ego that creates division and suffering. When we reduce nature to mere objects of use or profit, its essence is lost. But when we recognize it as one life expressing itself in countless forms, its true beauty shines, and we begin to see through the illusion of separation. The real purpose of spending time in nature is not just to calm the mind for a while, but to recognize and dissolve the false image of me that keeps us restless. When that dissolves, what remains is freedom, peace, and connection with life as a whole. That is the reminder Virginia left me with. Not only beautiful trails, rivers, and historic places, but the insight that true peace is not about changing your mood. It is about transforming your understanding of who you are.